Well, it's been a while. To make sure it doesn't happen again,
Schedule.
Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday in 1 minute video. Fridays a bigger video. Also in the news, Captain Sveid will be no more. I am changing the channel name to Martin Creek, so expect to see that very soon. Alright, time for the video.
Storm clouds in London. Better go to the window to witness this extremely rare occurrence.
I don't know how grim you think London is, but seeing a smoke skull is certainly a reason good enough to look.
I was wondering.
11. That's when I get off.
Damn, that's specific.
For me, personally, getting through a whopping 40 seconds of a Cinemasins video before reaching a sexual innuendo targeted at a probable minor is a win. But for you, Jeremy, my friend, it's a sin. Also, low-key pedophilia 6.1, check that box. Credit where credit is due though. You tried your best and got to 40 seconds. Next time you might even reach a whole minute.
That's what she said.
Well, if it isn't that wand blocker Dumbledore, wanting to talk to Harry after spending the entire previous year not talking to Harry.
Because he realized he had made a mistake and now Dumbledore is trying to right his wrongs. That's called character development. But I get it, it's a bit of a hard concept for you to grasp. I could get into the reasoning on why Dumbledore did not talk to Harry last year, because he was afraid that Voldemort could get valuable intel if Voldy ever possessed Harry. So Dumbledore wanted to keep Harry in the dark. But now, because of the events at the end of the previous movie, Dumbledore is now convinced that Voldemort getting into Harry's mind is no longer a concern. But whatever. At least you're consistent with your stupid wand dick analogy.
The tale is thrilling, if I say so myself. But now is not the time to tell us.
Because reasons.
I am sure Dumbledore has his reasons. Also, a public muggle location is hardly the best place to swap epic tales of wizardry.
Actually, sir, after all these years, I'll just sort of go with it.
You go with it despite the fact that no one has ever taken you to the Hufflepuff to stick your Slytherin in someone's Gryffindor.
If you think about it, Ravenclaw really is the most unrepresented house. Gryffindors are the main good guys, Slytherins are the main baddies, Hufflepuffs are the comic relief, also get the mermaid-loving, bat-fearing, hot shit vampire dude, and Ravenclaws are the ones left out of the story, and also the ones left out of the unprompted, unfunny, and unreasonable sex jokes that I cannot understand for the life of me. Huh.
One's out, Harry.
Oh wait, maybe I underestimated Dumbledore.
Oh, that was a setup to a punchline where Dumbledore takes out his wand, but as you called wands dicks, it is funny now. Cause it's like Dumbledore took out his dick and asks Harry to take out his dick and then what?
Blood tasting.
He already suspects it not to be human blood because Dumbledore has done extensive research on dragon's blood and probably recognizes it, but he has to make sure, so the man's gotta do what he's gotta do.
Come on, did this guy really not know his feet were sticking out of the chair?
Obviously not. Or maybe he didn't have time to do a better job.
Also, how did licking the blood drop from Harry's head tell Dumbledore, better give that chair a closer look?
Because Dumbledore now knows it is a setup since he recognized the blood as dragon's blood. He says this later in the scene.
What gave me away?
Dragon's blood.
Also, the goddamn chair creaked.
So I never stay anywhere more than a week.
Then how did Dumbledore know where to find— oh, f***ing forget it.
Dumbledore's whole main character trait is knowing things. He is the wise old mentor for a reason.
Even more impressive when one considers she was Muggle-born.
That's racist.
That's the point.
One of my best friends is Muggle-born. She's the best in our year.
And yet you keep getting all the credit.
Not for his academic achievements he doesn't. No one in their right mind would say Harry is the best in their year.
Your mother was one of my absolute favourites. Look, there she is.
Wait, just a minute ago you said—
The Muggles who own this place are in the Canary Islands.
but now we're supposed to believe that you have pictures of all the people who are important to you? One of them just happening to be Harry's mom sitting here in this Muggle house?
That is the movie's way of trying to tell you that these pictures are Slughorn's prized possessions, that he values more than anything else. Well, not the pictures themselves, but the relationships they represent. Relationships with accomplished and successful people.
Also, you said—
I never stay anywhere more than a week.
so that means you're carrying around 19 framed pictures to a new place every week?
I could repeat the same thing here. Also, when you're a wizard, the inconvenient things are no longer really that inconvenient.
You no doubt know of his older brother Sirius died a few weeks ago.
Harry's in the news everywhere because of the showdown at the Ministry of Magic, which is where Sirius died. So how does Slughorn know that Sirius died but not know that Harry was there when it happened?
I do not know why you would assume the Prophet released a detailed account of the happenings at the Ministry. First of all, it's very much a Ministry-controlled propaganda paper, and the events that transpired in the Department of Mysteries definitely paint the Ministry in a bad light, and make them look super incompetent. Furthermore, Sirius is still believed to be a murderer, and having Voldemort showing up in the Ministry is bad enough. And the fact that his supposed right-hand man, who was also the world's most wanted criminal at the time, waltzed right through the Ministry's halls, they would definitely want to keep that on the hush-hush. Also, the real reason this scene exists is to make the viewer aware of Regulus Black's existence, the man whose locket they find at the end of the movie. Smart filmmaking.
R.A.B.
Professor Slughorn is going to try to collect you, Harry.
And that's all I need to say about that.
If you pay attention to all the people collecting themed red flags, it really is self-explanatory.
That's why he's returning to Hogwarts. And it's crucial he should return.
But I won't tell you why until much, much later, if at all.
Dumbledore does not have to give all the answers right away. He knows what he is doing.
I fear I may have stolen a wondrous night from you, Harry.
Magical cock blocking.
Wand blocking. If you're gonna be stupid, at least be consistently stupid.
Dumbledore's a dick.
Did you mean to say Dumbledore's a wand? Not a sin.
Franchise waits until the 6th movie to mention the unbreakable vow thing, which is no doubt super important, but not really.
Really, it is really important. Making the vow and completing it makes Voldemort unconditionally trust Snape. It is the most important thing by far to happen in the 6th movie.
Also, if an unbreakable vow exists and is so powerful, why not use it to do something impossible? Like, I vow to impress Kate Upton with my considerable math skills.
The unbreakable vow does not make the impossible possible. It just means that if you do not keep your promise, you die. Also, you are considerably underestimating my math skills.
I will.
How did the glowing magic wrist thing know that this was the end of all the vows?
I am 99% sure it is controlled by the person casting the spell, aka Bellatrix, but if not, I'll borrow one out of your book. It's magic.
Dick shop.
Okay, cool. What? Is that a joke on wand shop? Because it is not a wand shop. This is a wand shop, as you clearly are aware.
Also, why do the Malfoys walk to this super secret meeting place out in the open where anyone can see where they're going?
Not a super secret meeting place. A shop.
Shoulder troll.
Oh no! A magical creature in the magic world! How dare they?
What's a Raxbat?
They're invisible creatures. They float in your ears and make your brain go fuzzy.
Oh, cool. What?
That's what I said 5 scenes ago! Also, Luna saying "oh cool what" kind of things is what Luna is supposed to do. Character consistency.
So what was Draco doing with that weird-looking cabinet? And who were all those people?
And why did I wait all the way until now to ask these questions?
First of all, this is very likely to be the first time they have had the chance to be alone if we assume they visited Fred and George's shop before going to the station, which would explain why there was so many Hogwarts students present right at this time. Second of all, you can ask the same question more than once when you are problem solving. And this line from Hermione seems to suggest that this is not the first time they have had this discussion.
Besides, Hermione saw it with her own eyes.
I told you. I don't know what I saw.
It's happened. He's one of them.
Pronoun game.
Double pronoun game. Also, it is not hard to work out who's he and who's they in this instance.
What a pathetic excuse for a school.
Evil Harry Potter is right.
So,
Apparently Malfoy can just stay on the train with a whole car to himself without anyone noticing or caring.
who would care? When you get off the train, do you care if people still stay on it when you walk past them? Also, just mere seconds earlier, we are shown how Malfoy tells his friends that he will stay behind.
You two go on. I want to check something.
So, they have no reason to object.
Honest.
Sorting Hat urges all to be brave and strong in these troubled times.
Since when does the Sorting Hat have important things to say, and do anything other than tell people what house to go to?
Since the arrival of troubled times, I guess.
And here's where I point out the avalanche of convenience that leads Harry to the Half-Blood Prince's book, capped off with the oh-so-clever, one old book, one new book standoff with Ron. F***ing bravo, you maestros.
What's the problem here? It's a perfectly sufficient way for a character to acquire a textbook. What do you want? An RPG quest? They walk in the classroom and are like, "Oi, professor, we ain't got books." And Slughorn's like, "Oh, Harry, my boy, you have to locate the fabled land of the bookstore, slay the vicious dragon, and rescue the fair maiden from the beast's clutches. As a token of gratitude for your bravery, I shall reward you and your red-haired companion with the greatest prize of them all. An old-ass copy of Advanced Potion Making." This is fine.
Dumbledore's memory of his first meeting with Tom Riddle is so vivid he remembers a photograph of a place that just happens to be of major importance to the entire story.
That is what happens when you use a powerful magical object designed for the specific purpose of reliving your memories in perfect detail.
I can speak to snakes too. They find me. Is that normal for someone like me?
Dumbledore must have left out as part of the memory where he completely and utterly disregarded this question.
What? They had to cut the scene somewhere. Why not there?
Did I know I just met the most dangerous dark wizard of all time? No.
But how?
Why would he? Just because a kid stole some toys and could speak to snakes? Speaking to snakes is a rare ability, but isn't inherently evil. Harry can speak to snakes too.
You see, Professor Slughorn possesses something I desire very dearly.
But I'm not going to say what it is yet because screw you, that's why.
You really don't want there to be a movie, do you? Also, you have seen Dumbledore keeping things to himself 3 times already, and that's just cheap.
You said Professor Slughorn will try to collect me.
Yeah, what the f*** did you mean by that?
Put him on his shelf. Context clues.
Do you want me to let him?
Wait, you know what the f*** he meant by that?
Saying the same thing twice.
Why does one team's Quidditch tryouts have such a large spectator turnout? And why is Hermione here instead of studying? I know she likes Ron in the romantic way, but still, she didn't even bring books.
Wow, such a large spectator turnout. There's a few people there. Maybe they came to support their friend, maybe they are bored, maybe there is nothing better to do, why not?
Second of all, cheating.
Cheating is the point. Hermione is very against cheating. It is probably the thing she despises most in the world. Maybe second only to you saying,
Hermione isn't old enough to be hot yet.
But she does it anyway. It is done to show how much she cares about Ron.
Who's the Half-Blood Prince?
Roll credits.
Would be kinda ridiculous if he wasn't mentioned.
Good to see you, Wallenby.
Haha, he can't remember Ron's name. Classic.
Fuck you, you grump. That's a funny bit.
None of these students with magical powers do anything while this girl is hovering in the air.
Ever heard of being in shock? Also, what do you suggest they do? Conjure up a lasso, throw it around her neck and pull her down? None of them have any idea what's happening, therefore they have no idea how to respond.
Why is it, when something happens, it is always you 3?
Were you not briefed on how they were just minding their own goddamn business?
It's a valid question. Ron's been asking it all these years.
Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself the same question for 6 years.
I think Miss Bell is lucky to be alive.
It's pretty lucky that every student at Hogwarts has survived every single attempted murder since year 1. Might be because there's magic for everything.
Except for...
Hermione's got nice skin, wouldn't you say? As skin goes, I mean.
I've never really thought about it.
Liar.
The monster existed. It was buried deep within.
Then why did you cast such a creepy kid to play Tom Riddle in the Dumbledore flashback? Seems to me the monster not only existed, but was right on the damn surface.
Judging people based on their appearance.
You get the sense that Luna's the Lady Gaga of this group? Maybe, like, she's just being weird for the sake of being weird?
Or maybe she's just being herself. Not all people base their behavior on trying to get the right reaction out of their peers. But you wouldn't know that, would you?
We're in the 6th movie and Quidditch is somehow still a big deal. Like, Voldemort is out there and recruiting people and readying for war. But we still need to watch Quidditch matches in this movie.
There's a global pandemic and a lot of people are dying, and the economy is crashing, but god damn it, LeBron might not have a better shot at getting another ring, and the magical world of Harry Potter is not enough. I need some Luca magic back in my life. Luca. Bring the fucking NBA back, I need it. Look, Quidditch does not make any sense as a sport, but I get why people need it in these troubled times.
Shouldn't put it in.
But it took Luna Lovegood's keen eyes to even bring up the idea that you put something in his drink earlier. You didn't tell Ron about it until she started opening up her weird yap.
I'm sure Harry would have alluded to putting something in Ron's drink if he had to, but he didn't. Luna did all the work for him.
Have we seen Hermione and Ron joking with each other, touching each other, any kind of clue that they were attracted to each other? There's absolutely no chemistry between them. Just because a book or a movie says two people are going to be together doesn't mean the attraction was there all along.
That's unfair. They have done all the things you mentioned. Come on, roll the montage.
Got a bit of toothpaste.
Parchment and spearmint toothpaste.
Toothpaste.
Will you stop eating? What if she looked over here and saw you snogging me? Would you expect her to get up and leave?
Got a little bit.
Someone, or something, ate the apple and was an asshole.
The point is, the cabinet is supposed to transfer the apple intact. A piece is ripped out of it, so the cabinet is not functioning properly.
Also, why do the evil forces need to test their magic teleportation cabinet that obviously was built for this very purpose?
So that when they just get in the broken cabinet willy-nilly, they don't end up like the apple, ripped apart. Magical things can be broken and require fixing, dude.
Also, I guess this is something that takes an entire f***ing school year to learn. You know, so we can go through all the damn teen angst this movie has to offer.
Well, I guess it fucking does. Why do you assume it's supposed to be easy? There is magic that is hard. If everything was easy, you wouldn't need to go to magic school for 7 fucking years, would ya? Obviously, it's a hard thing to fix.
Cormac, that's who you invited.
I know, right? He's already in the Slughorn Club. He was coming here tonight regardless.
She didn't invite him to the party. She invited him to go together. Because...
I thought it would annoy Ron the most.
You've just bought yourself a month's detention, McLagan.
This is a private party and not a school function, and vomiting is a month's detention? You gotta be shitting me.
Snape's never been exactly known as the fair guy regarding giving out detention. Especially to Gryffindors. He hates fucking Gryffindors. Well, that is not necessarily true. Snape does not exactly hate fucking Gryffindors. This whole franchise is kinda kicked into gear because Snape desperately wanted to fuck one, but he got her killed instead, and became the Dark Lord of the Simps. Basically, this whole story happens because this greasy douchebag is the biggest simp in history. Fuck Snape. Don't get me wrong, Snape is one of the best characters in the story. His story is fascinating, beautifully crafted and tragic. But he is a shit person. Snape purists, you are delusional. Saying Snape is the hero of this story and the bravest man out there who risked everything and who is the embodiment of true love. No. He is a dude who got rejected in high school because of his own shitty actions and never got over it. I guess he felt so entitled to this girl's affection, just as he quote-unquote loved her, that he was fine getting her son and husband killed just cause he did not think Voldy would kill the girl. That's fine, all is fair in love and war, right? Well, probably not that. And after all this went to shit, he could never move on with his life, because he would stay forever in love with the girl from high school, and he would just stay bitter, wronged by life that denied him the only shot at love with the girl from high school. And because he's this unfortunate soul, according to half the Harry Potter fanbase, he apparently has the excuse to be a hateful bully. His job is being a professor. His job is to be a mentor to his students, and all he does is bully them. It is so bad that one of his students' greatest fear is his professor. He spends his days bullying children. Let that sink in. And all the good things he does are not done because he's a good person who wants to make the world a better place. They are done because Snape feels sorry for himself. They are done because he hates himself for how shitty of a dude he truly is, and taking on this role of this misunderstood hero that is ready to put everything on the line is the only way he can live with himself. But it's fine, because the poor guy had an abusive childhood, and at that point you are doomed for life. You are bound to become evil. It's not your fault. It's fine. It's fine because he will love the girl from high school that died many years ago because of his horrible life decisions.
Always.
Do you share the sentiment and want to express your Snape hot take? I know one way you can do it. What are we talking about? I think I need to rewind a bit. Giving detentions. He is always looking for any excuse to screw over Gryffindors.
I believe it was Snape in the earlier movie who somehow knew Harry was eavesdropping on the teachers outside Dumbledore's office, right? And said this conversation is no longer private, right? But here, no idea he's being listened to surreptitiously.
Nope. It was Barty Crouch Jr. disguised as Mad-Eye Moody using his magic eye to see through the door.
What happens if you break an unbreakable vow?
I thought the very meaning of the term was that you physically could not break it.
You didn't think. You assumed.
Plenty of magic to go around during a time when everyone's scared of a massive threat. We can't protect the children, but we can make cake toppers dance. So we got that going for us.
A little bit of a cheery atmosphere doesn't hurt anyone. Do you want them all just to crawl in a corner and cry?
Perhaps Harry's right, Remus. I mean, to make an unbreakable vow...
These people can't just find out from Dumbledore that Snape's allegiance to his vow is part of his double cross. Is there any reason they don't have the understanding of this shit that Albus does?
The reason is that would be risky. Dumbledore has to make sure the double cross works. Dumbledore wouldn't tell them because if more people know, Snape's true allegiance turns from a secret into information that could reach Voldemort.
Why is the family that uses magic to scrub pans and move cake toppers worried about a simple fire? Can't they just magic up themselves a new shoe house?
Sentimental value?
But why would he tamper with his own memory?
Yeah, why stop at tampering? Surely there's a spell that could make you forget something completely.
Slughorn tampered with it after taking it out of his head. Trying to erase your memories is a scary thing to try. What if you accidentally erase too much, or even all of it? Happened to this guy.
Say goodbye to your memories.
Obliviate! Do you think she knows I exist?
I bloody well hope so. She's been snogging you for 3 months.
Snogging? Who are you talking about?
You mean Ron's been playing the pronoun game this entire time? Geez, this was a long con version of it.
What do you mean the entire time? You saw the whole entire time. Ron is not talking about Lavender, he's talking about Romilda Wayne, and he's only in love with her since eating the love potion. Am I missing something?
Fortunately for Harry, Ron gets stung by some kind of weird love potion that gives him the perfect excuse to get back into Slughorn's good graces.
When life gives you poisoned Ron, use him.
A reminder, it's past Christmas, and Draco's vanishing cabinet experiments have only graduated from apple to small bird.
Why are you sending progress? And stop assuming it should be an easy thing to do.
Why was the vanishing cabinet 6th on the list of all Voldemort's potential Hogwarts Harry defeat plans? Doesn't this seem easier than several of the previous plans he's bafflingly gone with ahead of this one?
Good ideas come with time. You would know if you ever thought about anything more than just for 3 seconds. Also, this is actually Voldemort's first Hogwarts defeat plan. Previously, he has only had come back to life plans, and last year he had a get the prophecy from the ministry plan. What are you talking about?
Stop it, Ron. You're making it slow.
Now magic doesn't even have to be done on purpose to happen?
This has happened multiple times before. For example...
So even when someone casts a spell that causes this much blood loss, there's a spell that keeps them alive?
The guy who invented the spell that causes that much blood loss is the most likely man to know a counter curse.
It's the wrong requirement.
Wait, so after the last movie they just stuffed this room of requirement full of junk like a warehouse? And not only that, but Draco's been coming here all year to kill birds and teleport apples, but he was allowed in because he really needed it? The f*** is going on here?
No, it was already there. They just needed the room for a different purpose. If you require a training facility, it's a training facility. If you need a place full of junk, it's a place full of junk. The room of requirement. It's in the name.
Slughorn usually eats early, takes a walk, and then returns to his office.
How many nights did you stake out the Marauders map to know his schedule this f***ing well? Harry just thought of the liquid luck idea like in the last scene, man.
Eats, walks, returns is not exactly knowing the schedule this well. Also, they probably have been trying to come up with a plan all this time.
Seriously misunderstood creatures spiders are.
Yeah, but in the Chamber of Secrets, this one in particular was going to kill Ron and Harry before the magic car came and saved them. I think these spiders are properly understood.
Hagrid sees all monsters through rose-tainted glasses. It's well established. Sorry, a rendering error, had to cut a few frames out.
Also, movie over 2.5 hours long has time for the spider funeral.
Well, it is an important moment for Hagrid. But also, you have time for the spider funeral but not the Dumbledore funeral? Arguably the most emotional part of the whole goddamn franchise? The fuck?
He's drunk now, so surely he'll start spilling the secrets Harry needs. And what's a guy like me to say about the convenience of that shit when the screenplay already excused it with liquid luck ex machina?
Exactly. You seen liquid luck already, so shut up and don't say anything.
Well, sure, I'm glad that Voldemort kept a nice picture of this place in his orphan room that a memory somehow remembered.
Voldemort kept the picture because it was an important place for him, and that's what a memory does.
In order to gain passage, payment must be made.
How about just not making it in any way possible for any kind of passage? Was Voldemort planning on coming back here to visit his horcrux?
Yes.
There it is. The only question is, how do we get there?
I don't know, apparate maybe?
In the previous scene, they talk about how it is not possible to apparate in Hogwarts.
So I thought you couldn't apparate within Hogwarts.
Only logical that Voldemort would use a similar magic to deny apparition.
He's calling a boat out of the water, but it's kind of hard to believe that in a world with a spell that makes cake toppers dance, there's not also a spell just to create a boat and plop it right where you're standing.
Making something out of nothing is way more out there than making an existing thing dance.
Seriously, why did it take this long for the teleporting cabinet thing to work? And just in time for Dumbledore's return from the Voldemort Soul Cave.
Valid point on the convenience and all, but you have seen this taking long like 6 times already, just stop.
In a world full of magical bullshit that is completely unnecessary, there is apparently nothing called an anti-eavesdropping spell. They can create invisible train station entrances, fix eyeglasses, and other completely useless shit, like dancing cake toppers. Have I mentioned this movie has magical dancing cake toppers? Because it does.
There is a spell like that, but why would anyone think to use it at this point? Why would anyone care if anyone heard this?
Don't you understand? I have to do this.
Honestly, leaving the assassination to Draco, who thought this was a good idea?
There is a reason why Voldemort sends Death Eaters here. Voldemort wants Draco to fail. This mission is a punishment for Papa Malfoy's fuck-ups. If Malfoy fails, Voldemort kills him and punishes Lucius as a result. If Malfoy succeeds, which Voldemort does not think will happen, so he sends other people here to the school, Dumbledore's dead. Win-win situation for Voldemort.
Avada Kedavra.
Snape is addicted to Dumbledore.
Okay.
Also, since we know later that Snape and Dumbledore planned this, does Snape's soul still break in two after killing him? That's how I heard it works anyway. Kind of a harsh penalty to pay for an agreement like this.
That's called making a sacrifice for the greater good. Now the misunderstandings. The newspaper says the death toll rises.
That everyone conveniently runs off before it sinks into the water.
So either Jeremy was wrong to sin the fact that everybody survived the bridge incident, or the movie made a mistake. Either way. What is grabbing Harry's attention? Dumbledore appeared later. No holes in the white curtains, holes in the white curtains. Feet sticking out, no feet sticking out. This lamp is not attached to the ceiling at this point. So why are the bulbs lighting up? That's not how electricity works.
Is that an owl I heard?
This is a wizarding household. Hermione would not pay attention to hearing an owl.
Sissy, you can't do this. He can't be trusted.
Dark Lord trusts him.
In weather like this, whispering like that, Narcissa would not hear Bellatrix speak. The writing disappears from the shop front.
About time. I've been looking all over for you two.
Looking where, Professor Flitwick? Wouldn't the first place to check be the train or the way to the train, where Harry and Luna were?
His name? Tom Riddle.
Why would people start murmuring? It's not common knowledge that Voldemort's real name is Tom Riddle. This name would mean nothing to the students. The pensive displays memories. It does not make creepy Voldemort smoke face transitions. Foam disappears from Slughorn's cup. Oh, so Jesus was a wizard, not a sin.
Come and play with us.
Not a sin. And here I was, thinking that the most terrifying thing I'll see on this train is a Dementor. Oh, how wrong I was. Not a sin. Orange blanket on the sidearm, orange blanket on the back of the couch.
Throne of requirement.
Why are you acting surprised? You spent half of last year in this room, you know where it is located. And the Oscar for Best Editing goes to... Seriously, I get it that you're trying to induce a frantic feeling in the viewer, but this quick cut editing is just so jarring that I just started laughing when I saw it. How did the wand get to the desk? Dumbledore died with it, and I don't think it is logical that someone would just take it and bring it back to the headmaster's office. It is now McGonagall's office, and Dumbledore gets buried with the wand in hand, so I just don't see this happening.
I never realised how beautiful this place was.
Sure, you did not realize how beautiful this place was. Before you came to this magnificent castle where you experienced freedom for the first time, you spent most of your life in a cupboard under some stairs. I know you have bad eyesight, dude, but this is a stretch. Well, that took approximately an eternity. Subscribe, like, you know what to do.